Lads, now is this time. Today actually I want to go through a duplicate but walk is today. So I believe that this is important for us. So here is I was told that first you need to drink a lot of water. Told you need to drink a lot more water. 5 you need to drink a lot more water. Over. Guys. So that's important. Fuck everyone and enjoy. That is a book economy right here, okay? Let's start. But I do vital value and life and is capable of the same living a man may say and the same sound leaves on two different words. With the two leaves a book of a books they are with a different meaning. It has the duplex is comical. And the effect of comical writing as is the fundamental of the banner. How is a grace one the composition very of first same sound means for a second result are the word. No, not on the they have the same there is a duplicity of skills under the unity of the sound. And if you watch in the sentence on convey two different meanings. In the first place, meaning is a bone. Carries the true meanings, the source of true self of man. Comic to follow directors than to follow the abstract principles of democracy. The first follow means to obey and the second understand. True and instruments of the cobblers and all. Now I beaches and beseech you, say you, be not out. You cannot change the spot of the characters by changing your spot. Voice has two senses, vowels and vowels. It is no means small happiness to be the seated in the middle. Fuck it, that's okay. Meanings in a context which the both meaning equivalence an example. This window, M.H. Abrams. Okay, onomatopoeia, the sound are made suggestive of the things of the sentence of the onomatopoeia, and the sound of the word is the made of the intrusive sense. Both in the narrow and in a broad sense. In the narrow rather common sense, the sound of a word seems to resemble the sound to denote he as he is bass. And Niagara stands with a thundering sound, the goldsmith, the swallow to white ring from the straw bills shade grey. Though the watches were last closing the hours by hours keys. The sound of the words, the murmuring of thundering, twittering, and the oozing is evident reflects the meaning. It is a bold sense. This is applied to the word of passage that seems to the correspond or to the total sound of its face. Model example: each character growled and the words and howl. Coleridge, this is an onomatopoeia, and in an onomatopoeia, the sound of the words used to the made of the issues of the sense. There is the sound of the words. Crack, growls, words, and the howl issues their sense. With the happy thumbs, they live like this lamb. Drop down one by one. Coleridge. This is a case of the sound not used is made. For example, then would be the whistles, typically the sound of the words whistles. It should senses the brook as the bubbles by the sound of the word of bubbles. It shows its sense. Its senses. Okay. Also is also. But this is hard. This is hard. This is hard. It's gonna be hard. Anyone can. Well, this is. Yo guys, see guys. I can stop this guys. It's not fucking weird. I have combi. Stroke 70%. Stroke 75%. 1.5. 76. It's the wrong chime. 76%. 36%. 74%. Long. Okay, so who can but I can try it. I tried. This is enjoy. Enjoy, guys. And now, fuck it, everything's. Fuck it, that's okay. I hear the water lapping. The red breast of the whistles from a garden scope and gathering shallow right to eater in the sky speaks. The sound of the each of the words of whistles and Jujar echoes it saves only the stuttering relief the ripples the repeat rattles the sound of the stuttering and the rattle echoes their sense. Okay, enumerable the cries of the most animal are walking, the cry of the frog and so on. Alternation, the same letter, symbol or sound is repeated at the beginning of the successive or the nearly successive word. This figure is a metrical ornament used to clarify the chapter in poetry. The alternation consists in the repetition of the same letter, the symbol or sound or the beginning of the successive or nearly successive word. The consonants, this is a figure used for the special stylistic effect. This is the grey lines. Ring size are 3, the ruthless king, the letter R is repeated at the beginning of the nearly successive word read, and the ruthless R is of course the consonant. It's called from us land the unhorribles and understand the styles. The syllable and is repeated at the beginning of all the words. Unapproved and unhonored and uninstance here is of course the alternation. So it's of the vowel sound on the essential feature of the alternation are the same letter, symbol or sound is repeated. This is repeated at the beginning of the same some words. They are Internations, the same letter, syllable or sound is repeated at the beginning of the successive or nearly successive words. There the letter I is repeated at the beginning of the successive words. The longing, longering, and loop, the fair beach, flow, and the white from flow, the chlorines, the Coleridge, the follow for free. This is an alternation. In the alternation, the same letter, symbol, or sound is repeated at the beginning of the successive of the nearly successive word. There, the letter A is repeated at the beginning of the successive or words of fair form. Body blade, blade. He bravely broached his blooming bloody breast. Shakespeare, the letter B is repeated at the beginning of the nearly successive word. Lying silent and sad in the afternoon of the shadow and sunshine. Long spell. The letter S is repeated at the beginning of the nearly successive words and gay, the gangster and skilled in a gastric goldsmith. The letter G is repeated at the beginning of the nearly successive word. In a summer season, during the love. Sobrostan, the langlords, there is the langlands, there is the ace is repeated at the beginning of the nearly successive word, summer, season, and soft and sun. The field is freedom and the function, fame, and law, and Byron's. The letter A is repeated at the beginning of the nearly successive words after although alone, the alone one is Y and Y. See, there is an alternation of the A and W successive words. Notable the alternative mirror in the Old English vernacular, the English, the Middle English, the alternative mirror is found is the alternation where is where the organized of the reverse of the verse line. These such personifications are vowel of alternation with any other subsequent vowel. Of course, the mirror or strong is stressed in the opening line of the parasol as it intends. All the four states of words are found alternated in a summer season. The wind soft sound the closely. That's okay, that's okay. Chapter 8, the figure is based on the construction. Okay, statements are some, and thus it's common to say I'm a good boy, but this idea may be also expressed by twisting a arrangement. And then the expression I'm a good boy, similarly the sentence he has been much. The idea that lives in a big city may be expressed in the following way. On a small city, on no small city, they are the big is suggested by the putting on the before the opposites of word small. There are the different ways of change the common in construction of the word in the sentence. This start from a different figure of the speech, and they go under the heading the figure based on the construction. The following are the important figure founded on construction. Interrogation, exclamation, chasmas and jaguma and handidias and litodas and hyperbarons, the pilogia and the epinophora and additive entropy. Anisodatons, the piloceratons and the apostrophes and the paraphernalis and the equinoparthosis. Some of these is figure expresses certain this is indirect or one other big direct statement. This figure may be the classified under the two headings, direct and indirect group A. Direct exclamation, chismas, chasmas and jaguma and pilogia and ephenophora and antigua and antrophy antistrophy and the acidodons are polosidodon and group indirect. Interrogation, the affirmative in or in the narrative or a negative. When the question is put on the affirmative, the answer expressed in a negative and the vice versa. This is where the maybe the questions can be the utopia and changes the scheme. The concern imposes there is no. Again in the question, who loves no knowledge? The answer implies not. And such as a form or and such as a form of the interrogation is the rhetorical device and the goal asked, and the answer is to the clearly implies it is very from the following and the silence feature of an interrogation. A question is put, the answer is simple in the question. The figures widely important in the hour of the oratory of the thought effectively used in impartial cases. If you person asks, do you not die? And if you not Shakespeare. Shall we receive good at the hand of God, and shall we not receive evil? The answer is obviously impels that very question. The interrogations is widely employed purpose quite distinct from one another. The following are the purpose for which the figure is used. Doubts, the difficulties and the uncertainty may be expressed by means of an interrogation as the following. Points for me and everyone. Okay, that's not a problem. But is it important, guys? Is it completes 8,300? Okay, I believe that it's gonna complete solved by all the problem. But I love it so much. That's 43% complete now. 3, 6, 4, 8, 5, 3, 6, 6, 6, 3, 7. Okay, this is important. This is 83,307. 37,000. Oh my gosh. We save a lot of time, dude. 10 hours more. More than 4 to 5 hours, right? It's due, it's fixed. Love it, that's what's up. And I want to show you, brothers, what the I don't care. Make a success. I can love it, brothers. This is the time now, 6. Okay. 이제는 가정이나 많아. যাই ওর ভাইরা তো মানে
না তার জন্য দিবান আছে একটা লাগাই কি আর একটা না একটা লাগা সাত খান দিছে কিন্তু
এখানে কাজ আগে এখানে এই যেখানে কাজ চলছে তিন বাড়ি
আর মনে হচ্ছে কি হতো মনে যে উপরটা গোড়ায় নিচে না নিচে না ওই যে কাপড়ের দোকান করে আর একটা বলে কম্পিউটার দুইটার দোকান আছে না একটা হলো ইয়ে ওই খালি নিচে রুমটাই বলতেছে দোকানে
মোবাইলের দোকান
মোবাইলে তো মোবাইলে তো না হলো তাই
ইয়ের বাড়ি
বাপের বাড়ি ওটা
এই যে সিনা বাড়ি করে দেন মোবাইল দোকান সিনা বাড়ি হচ্ছে দিয়া বাড়িতে একটা রুম দিন রাখা না বিয়ে করে দিবে
ওই বলতে ও বাপের বাড়ি থাকবে
মোবাইল দোকানটা তো করে বুঝে না মোবাইল দোকান
খাই না
মোবাইলের দোকানটা ওই দিয়ে নয় তো মোবাইলের দোকানটা যেটা সিনা মোটা করে সিনা মোবাইল দোকান করে মোবাইল করে
ওরা অন্য মোবাইলের দোকান
ও ব্যাঙ্গালোর দোকান করে ব্যাঙ্গালোর দোকানটা তো কাপড় দোকান থেকে
ওলে ডাকুর গাড়ি মানে ডাকুর গাড়ি ডাকুর গাড়ি ডাকুর গাড়ি
এটা হচ্ছে ও কোমরে না বাবা কোমরে সবই গেল যে বাড়ি আছে কোমরে না বাবা কোমরে না বাবা ওই একই ওই পয়সা দিয়ে দিয়ে কোনটা দিও জায়গা বড় হয়ে All shoulders. I feel the top. 49 minutes, okay. Okay, I can. Soil of flat ray of the soothe of the consist in an adapted experience of dish or emotion or desire is made three using themselves. For if you should what seems to me all the uses of the word Shakespeare of world food until I had stewed then I believe this in exclamations but of emotion and how is introduced by the interjection okay. Yes. This is so hard, but I really want. Right. And my days among I she things to save the beast at the and the reiterations to the school to disfigure that purpose of the guys with all terrorists terrorist omissions of the connecting technology